Hello, guys, and welcome back for another math lesson with Mr. Hopkins. Today we're looking at interval notation. What we'll do first is we will solve linear inequalities. We'll graph them on a number line, and then we'll write the solution in interval notation. So interval notation, let's see here, get my pen out, discusses whether it's an open circle, whether it's not equal to, or a closed circle that it is equal to by using parentheses if it's an open circle, brackets if it's a closed circle. I can have a combination of both of those. I could have an open ended on the left and a closed circle on the right, or vice versa. So we'll discuss that as we go along. So over here, I am going to actually write exactly what is over here, the interval notation. By looking at each graph has a left side and a right side. So since that's an open circle on the left side, it would be a parenthesis with B. On the right side, this goes all the way to infinity. And I can never equal infinity, so that would be an open parenthesis. Whereas vice versa, the one underneath it, it's a closed circle at B, so that's where I would get the closed bracket. And it still goes to infinity, open circle, because I can never equal infinity. This one down here, on the left side of this, that's negative infinity. Once again, I can never equal negative infinity. And on the right side, I have A, and that's an open circle. So that's parenthesis. The next one here is negative infinity again. Closed circle on A, so that just means I have a bracket now. So by looking at all of these here, you should be able to come up with all of those. And as we go further down, A is open on the left, B is closed on the right, and that's why it looks like that. These are both closed circles, so they'll both be brackets, just like that. So let's start. I want to delete what I have up here so you don't see too many of my answers. We're going to start this all over again. All right, so let's go up to example 1. Solve the inequality, give the answer in interval notation, and then graph. Well, to get x by itself, we're going to get rid of whatever's not attached to it. So let's add 5 to both sides. So 2x is greater than 8. And lastly, to get x by itself, divide by 2. X is greater than 4. Now it says to write the interval notation and graph it. I find it easier to graph it first, so let's do that. 4 is in the middle. Let's change my pen color. That's an open circle because it says greater than, and we're going to shade this way. So to write that in interval notation, it's an open circle on the left side of my graph. On the right side of my graph, it goes to infinity. And again, we can never equal that, so that's an open bracket. Number 2. Each of these inequalities get a little bit bigger from everything that we did in Unit 2 and Unit 3, so we're growing. When I have variables on both sides, we subtract the smaller variable. $11 is greater than or equal to. And then we're back to example 1. Getting x by itself. Minus 8. And then divide by 3. So I have 1 is greater than or equal to x. We don't like to write it like that. We want our variable to come first, so we flip the whole thing. And then that's going to help us graph. There's a chance it's equal to, so we're going to have a closed circle, and that's shaded to the left. Left side of my graph is negative infinity. Right side is 1, and that's a closed circle. So I have a closed bracket. Number 3. To get x by itself, we want to subtract 7. Be careful. That's a positive 7, so let's subtract 7. Make sure we bring down the negative sign with that. And now to get x by itself, divide by negative 3. And one more trick. Whenever we divide by a negative, be sure to flip the sign. We learned that in previous lessons. So when I graph this, we know that negative 2/3 is between 0 and negative 1. That is again a closed circle, shaded to the left. Negative infinity and negative 2/3. Last one. This really was a build-up, as this inequality is one of the bigger equations that we've done in Unit 2. So in Unit 3 here, with the inequalities, we can do the same steps. First thing we should be doing is distributing. 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. And we're just like example 2, when we had variables on both sides. Move the smaller variable. And to get x by itself, let's start subtracting 12. And divide by 3. I do not like x on the right side, so let's flip the whole thing. We'll graph and interval notation. Close circle, because there's a chance it's equal to, and shade to the right. So we have negative 5, comma, infinity, interval notation. Okay, so some brand new content and material. Solving the inequality should be a good refresher. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Good luck.